Okay, so from the epochs of, okay, we will start from the epochs of female life. That is the classification based on the menstruation itself or the reproductive potential itself. Okay, Dr. Anjana, am I audible?
Yeah, doctor, you can continue.
Yeah. So we will see the classification like Balavastha, Rajaswalavastha, and Vriddhavastha. Balavastha is the age before 16 years. Like the Balavastha is again classified into mainly into two, Kanya and Balavastha. So the Kanya is before the age of 12 years and Bala is between 12 to 16 years. So this age is important because at this time there is a pubertal changes start to take place from 12 to 16 years. Okay. Or even from 10 years also the changes start to appear and the reproductive maturity occurs by around 16 years. And the second phase is the Rajaswala Avastha. Rajaswala means a woman during her menstruation is known as Rajaswala. A menstruating woman is known as Rajaswala. In this epoch, it is mainly classified into two, like Taruni and Adiruda Avastha. Taruni Avastha means it's the age group between 16 to 32 years. At this time, a female is having maximum reproductive potential. Okay, in this Taruni epoch. That is, after 16 years, there is proper development or proper maturity of the reproductive system is there. And at this time, there is a maximum chance of getting pregnant. So then this Adiruda Avastha. Adiruda Avastha is between 32 to 50 years. That is, at this time, the reproductive capacity gradually decreases and the woman attains menopause by around the age of 50 years. So after 50 years or in the menopausal avastha is considered to be a vriddha avastha. So we can basically classify into three, Bala, Rajaswala and Vriddha avastha. This Rajaswala avastha is important as during the Taruni avastha it is the maximum reproductive potential is in the Taruni avastha. So this classification is better explained by Bhapragasa. In Ashtanga Sangraha also you can see a classification Vaya Trividam Balam Madhyam Vriddham. This classification, which I had explained, is mentioned by Bhapragasa. Okay, so I had already explained this modern also. It is said that female fecundity or fecundity means the chance of getting pregnant get decreases after the age of 31 years in a slow pace. But when it reaches after 37 years, the fertility chance of getting fertility decreases in a rapid pace. And after 41 years, there is a less chance of getting pregnant. So we can there is some logic in our classification, our Ayurvedic classification also, which is established by the modern people also. So now we will move to Rajas. What is Rajas or menstruation? Rajas itself, the term means menstruation, and there are so many synonyms are used for this Rajas or menstruation, like the term itself, Rekta, Artava, Shonida, all denotes blood, right? So we can use this term as a synonym for Rajas or menstruation. There are so many like slogas in which we can understand that these terms are used as a synonym for menstruation as well as in some contexts. Artava and Shonida are mentioned as a synonym for Bija. Like Stri Bija, they are used as a synonym also. So in this, what is Rajas means? You had to learn this sloga. This is an important sloga. This Masi Masi Rajah Strinam Rasajam Sravati Trayam Vatsara Dwadashadurtam Yadi Panjashataha Shen. So Masi Masi means it is like a cyclic process. It occurs in every month. Masi Masi. Rajah Strinam Rasajam. That is, this Raja is developed from the Rasadadu. Rajaha Strinam Rasajam, which is forming from the Rasadadu. Sravadi Trayam. Sravadi means it's flow out for 3 days. So in Ashtanga Hridayam, the duration of menstruation is mentioned like for 3 days. So Then it's mentioned that Vatsara Dwadasha Durdam, that is, it occurs after 12 years, that is, after the menarche, after 12 years. Yadi Panchashadaha Share, and menopause occurs after 50 years. So, menstruation occurs between 12 to 50 years. So, this sloga you had to study well. And here, Sravadi, it flows out. From where it flows out? It's like bleeding now. That is in Bhavaprakasha had mentioned Masi Masi Bhagatwara. Bhagatwara means opening in the vulvar region or vaginal region. Bhagatwara, from the vaginal opening, it flows out. Prakrtir Artavam Sravati. Prakriti means it's a normal physiological process. It's not pathological, it's normal physiological process. Physiologically, in every month, menstruation occurs. That much clearly our quotations are. So, here you can see Artava is used. Artava is used instead of Rajas. Okay. Then Sushrasam Rasadeva Striya Rektam Rajaha Sapnya Pravartade. From Rasadadu in Stri, thus Raja is formed. In Charaka Samhita, you can see a quotation like Masa Nishpishcha Daharti Panjaratrani Bindija. Here 5 days is mentioned. So in Ashtanga Sangraha, Ashtanga Hridaya, you can see 3 days is mentioned. In Charaka Samhita, you can say Pancharatrani Bindija. For 5 days it is mentioned. So Masa, every month it flows out without any burning sensation. Daharti. Without any burning sensation or pain, every month menstruation occurs. And here also you can see bleeding. The amount of bleeding is also mentioned. Neva adibahu na atyalpam. The bleeding should not be excess or it should not be scanty. Artavam Shuddhamas. Then here then only it is considered as Shuddha Artava or it is considered as a normal menstruation. Okay, in the normal menstruation there should not be any burning sensation or there should not be any severe pain. Mild pain during menstruation is considered as normal, but if severe pain, it is considered as a any some type of vada dushti is there. And if there is excess bleeding, there is pitta dushti is there. Like that, if we had to understand what is a normal menstruation, then only we can understand what is the pathology behind it. Okay, then also here Artava is used as a term. Artava Srava Divasat Ahimsa Brahmacharani. So while explaining the context of Rajaswala Charya, Rajaswala means a woman during menstruation, and Rajaswala Charya is like a routine we had to follow, or it is advised to follow during the menstrual period. So, during the menstrual time. So, at that time, it is mentioned that Ahimsa Brahmacharya, you should observe celibacy during that time. And Ahimsa means without any like exertion, physical exertion, we can consider. At that time, you had to avoid exertion. It is mentioned in our classics. So this Masi Masi Rajahastrina, that sloka you had to learn, and Masa Nishpishadaharti also you had to learn. And when we are explaining the formation of Artava, this Rajahastrinam Rasajam, that portion you can write. So moving to formation of Raja, like Rasadeva Strina Rektam Rajaha Sapnya Pravartade. That is from Rasadhatu. Like that in Charaga and also Susruta, it is said that it is Rajas is formed from Rasadadu only. Like usually this Rasa, Rekta, Mamsa, Meda, like the Saptadadus are formed. This Raja is said to be the Ubadadu of Rasadadu. Okay. But in Ashtanga Sangraha, it is mentioned that this Raja is an Ubadadu of Rektadadu. This is one contradiction we can see, and you can write both in your examination. So, in this slide, we can see there are certain references in which the Shonida and Artava are used as a synonym of Bija, like Bijam, Stri Pumseor, Artava Shukre. Artava is used as a synonym for Ovam or Bijam. Here also Bijam it is Shukra Shonida. Shonida, here you can see Shonida is used as a synonym of Bija. Samsargi Shukra Shonida, here also you can see. So in certain contexts, Shonida and Artha was used as a synonym of ovum. In certain contexts, it is used as a synonym for menstruation. And in this case, we can see that ovarian hormones or the hormones responsible for the development of endometrium. Endometrium means the inner lining of uterus. And the hormone support is mentioned like Sukshma Kesha Pradikasham Bijam Raktavahinya Siraha. Like the through the minute blood vessels, the hormone reaches the endometrium and it nourishes the uterus and it nourishes to every month and at the end of the month it sheds out. Like that, we can take this reference as relation to ovarian hormone. And also, earlier we had said that Vatsara Dwadashad Urtam Yadi Panchashatah Shem. That is the concept of menarche as well as menopause is also mentioned. Because menopause occurs as a result of Jarapakva Shariranam Yadi Panchashatah Shem. As a result of aging process, as a result of ovarian aging, the menopause occurs. Because in a female child, her ovary contains the primordial follicles which are capable of developing into ovum and ovulation like that. So after a passage of time, this ovarian reserve reduces, and due to this ovarian aging, menopause occurs. So we will detailedly explain what is Artava. We had already mentioned Vatsara Dwadasha Durtam, that is, it occurs after 12 years, and in an intervals like Masi, like in a lunar month, after 28 days, every 28 days it occurs. Masi. Then the duration, for how many days menstruation occurs? Like 3 days according to Ashtanga Hridaya, and 5 days according to Charaka Samhita, and Harita Samhita it is Saptadinam, 7 days is mentioned in Harita Samhita. Then for when you're writing on your examination, you can write point by point like this. So it will be much more impressive when your examiner will be looking your paper, it will be more impressive. And try to learn as much as sloka and try to understand the meaning of sloka. And then it will be easy for you to learn. Then role of Vada, because every Nishkamana Kriya, every movement there is always an involvement of Vada dosha will be there. So in this sloka, Masena Upichitam Kale Damanibhyam Tadartavam Ishat Krishna Vivarnam Cha Vayur Yonimugam. The role of Vada. Vada is help to expel the menstruation out. So Vayur Yonimugam. The role of Vada is explained in this sloka. An amount of bleeding is mentioned as Chaduranjali Pramanam. That is 4 Anjalis. That much of bleeding will be there. That is around 20 to 60 ml of menstrual bleeding occurs in every month. And Arthomarkneyam is mentioned. Then the menstruation ceases by about 50 years. Yadi Panchakshataha Shayam. So the main functional aspect of Artava is Garbhotpadana or Sadgarbhaya. Okay. Here, Sadgarbhaya or Rekta Laksanamartham Garbhagricha. So the functional aspect